What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new Division 2 video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the brand new exotic SMG, the Chatterbox, and we're going to be giving it a in-depth review looking at the good, the bad, and if you guys should be going for this weapon. Alright guys, so I'm going to do my best that I possibly can with the time that I currently have had to experiment and just in general use this weapon to give you guys a pretty decent review on the weapon if you guys were wanting to go for it, if you guys already had it or not. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. If you guys do, make sure you guys drop a like and a subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let's get right in the video. So getting right into it, guys, first off, the gear score is going to be 440 because that's pretty much the max you can get from any of the blueprints in the game right now until World Tier 5 comes out. So that's why the gear score is going to be 440 when I am actually 450. But the damage is 7.6k, which is kind of low for an SMG, but the fire rate does make up at 700. And obviously the super big thing that goes along with the talents on this weapon is that 60 round magazine size. So next up, going on to the accuracy and stability on this weapon. Now unfortunately this is an exotic weapon, which means that you cannot put any attachments on this weapon. So pretty much the accuracy and stability that you have is pretty much all that you have to work with in terms of those two specific stats, because obviously they're not going to go up or down if you can't put any attachments on them. So you're pretty much stuck with those two stats in terms of the weapon, and also the reload time can go up or down a little bit depending on what mods you're putting on your gear, as well as how you're running your specific build. And then obviously, since it is a submachine gun, the damage drop off in between like 40 to 50 yards is obviously going to be pretty significant, just due to the fact that most of your gunfights are going to want to be close range. So lastly, going on to the talents, first off we have Incessant Chatter. Every shot landed grants 1% rate of fire to the max of 60%, which this resets on every single reload. So specifically talking about this one talent, this weapon, I have this really huge problem with any FPS shooter where I'm just I force myself to reload every single gun, no matter how many bullets are gone in the magazine, whether or not it's one bullet or if it's half the magazine. And even if there's no one shooting at me or if I'm not in a gunfight, I just have this really bad habit where I have to reload the weapon. So in terms of this sort of helps me to force myself to not reload the weapon, because obviously if I'm hitting multiple shots to the head or to the chest in general, and I'm stacking this percent to increase my fire rate with this talent on this weapon, and I reload, then I'm doing that all for nothing in terms of using this talent in a positive aspect. So for this talent, I just try to force myself to use the entire magazine to get the full effect of the buff of the talent for the fire rate. So the second talent is going to be called Box Magazine. Kills with this weapon refill 20% of its magazine and grant a buff for 10 seconds. While this buff is active, every shot landed increases magazine capacity by 1 to a max of 60, and killing a target consumes this buff to fully refill the increased magazine size. So pretty much the best way that I can explain this talent is getting as close as you possibly can to enemies to not unload your entire magazine, because obviously if you're missing most of your shots far away distance, for one, you're not going to be doing that much damage, and secondly, it's going to probably take almost your entire magazine to kill them, no matter what it is. If it's a veteran, if it's just a regular elite, or just a regular red enemy, or if it's just an elite, it's going to take almost your entire magazine, if not the entire magazine, to kill them, meaning that you're not going to be getting that 20% refill buff for killing an enemy. Therefore, you're pretty much not going to be getting the most out of this talent. For me personally, I have perfected almost the way that this talent works for this weapon, meaning that there are times where I go maybe 20 or 30 seconds of killing a ton of enemies without literally even reloading my gun a single time. I'm introducing both of those 10-second buffs, as well as getting that refill 20% bonus every single time I kill someone, because I'm making sure that every single time I'm close to someone, using that first talent of getting that fire rate bonus, going alongside with the extra 15, 25 bullets every single time I kill someone. And finally, the last talent is going to be Blabbermouth. Well holstered, reloading this weapon within 5 seconds after a kill grants a 20% rate of fire for 10 seconds. Now, this might not sound like this is a super impactful talent for this weapon, but depending on the second primary weapon that you're using on your build, say for example, there's a ton of different things you could use with this talent, but say you're using any specific SMG or an assault rifle for this purpose of the video, and you already have the Allegro talent on that weapon, which grants an extra 10%, you can add on that 20% from this talent that it grants, giving 30% fire rate bonus for 10 seconds. And 10 seconds is a long time, especially if you're talking in terms of PvP. That could get you maybe 1 or 2 kills if you're landing your shots consistently, because 30% rate of fire, that's super high for in terms of assault rifles or SMGs as well, whatever you're using. And last but not least, speaking in terms of whether or not I think this gun is better in PvP or PvE, I do think like they're sort of like equally, like drawing a line right down the middle, like super equal in terms of both sides. But I do think that it is just a little bit more catered toward the PvP side, just because of the Blabbermouth talent. I think all of them are catered towards both, but I feel like that last talent is the X factor in terms of switching whether or not you think it's better for PvP or PvE. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like it's a lot more helpful having that 20% buff for fire rate in terms of PvP rather than PvE. That's just me personally, but yeah. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys drop a like and a subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And also, guys, comment down below what you guys think this is better for, PvP or PvE, and how you guys are enjoying this weapon if you guys are lucky enough to have already gotten it by now. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.